women pretending to be red pill for profit. So you get women who will now jump in the red pill lane, regurgitate everything men have been saying for years, and then everybody eats it up. The men eat it up because it's like, oh yeah, we finally got one that understands us. Yeah. The women eat it up like, oh yeah, sis, you spitting. Like I have a gang of females just sending me clip after clip after clip. And it's like, hold on, we done said this on the podcast. Or, hold on, Kevin Samuelson said this on the podcast. Like, this is shit I've been posting about for years that y'all call me misogynistic about. But because a female said it, now it's the gospel. And then once the female get on, I ain't even gonna say old girl name.
I know you're talking about.
But it come to find out, she don't believe none of this shit. Like, how you feel about this?
I think again, it speaks to how, women are able to do certain things and move a certain way, and it's not looked at the same way as us. Like, of course, I think women are gonna digest it better when they hear a woman telling them it. And you got a lot of women too that's like, oh, that's a pick me. But even that works in that girls and then women's favor because it's all publicity. I think it's hard to see through if it's a fake or not until it gets exposed because, again, you don't have many women doing it, but the ones you do, they became so like popping. And to me, the specific girl, if I feel like we're talking about the same girl, where you can start to see that it's for profit is when some of the shit she's saying is just so outlandish that niggas not even saying it. It's like niggas ain't even saying this shit. Like you sound really dumb. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think when they regurgitate it, it doesn't sound the same. It doesn't sound as smart because they don't really believe that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I seen one, I don't even know her name, so I couldn't say it if I wanted to. But she was real popular in the black community. So she was always, saying the same type of shit. And then like, I think sometime last week, she came out the blue with a thirst trap. Basically, the exact same thing she been preaching against this whole time. And I'm reading the comments, they going in on her. Bitch, I knew you was one of them. You done finessed us, and dudes in there mad as a motherfucker. But she done already got the bag already. She done already pulled the wool over your eyes already. And it's just like, it's just so fucking easy, which is why I always commend men who build their platforms up, because we got to go against the hate. We got to go against all odds to reach a certain level. A woman, she could just come say everything we saying now, and it just pop.
You different.
It just crack. Not hating on the women, but specifically the ones that's in the red pill lane. And then they go interview their friends and their families like, oh no, she was never like that. Yep. She don't believe none of that shit. She's saying that for the views. And it's like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? How you feel about it?
Man, I'm starting to get to a point where it's like, I got to remind myself to look at all this shit that's on there as entertainment. Even though I know we come from a real reality where not being authentic or not being a certain way is detrimental to your health and to your life. So it's hard to fathom that people really get on these platforms and just fake every single thing that they do. A lot of things is coerced. A lot of things is created just for that shock value or whatever the case is. So now you just start to question what's really real. And it's not to the point where I'm not mad at them. It's just you got to learn to dissect what you believe and what you don't believe and really do your homework on people that's giving you all this information. Because a lot of things is misleading. That's what the world we live in. From America to everything damn near you see on TV is fake as hell. You know what I mean? So
that's a fact. And you even have, and I talked about this on my Twitter and shit, like a lot of the gurus, like, and I'm gonna go back to the men, right? Like a lot of the men gurus that a lot of niggas follow, right? These niggas in the club every night. These niggas got 40 bitches with them. They talking about, you know what I mean, abstain from sex. These bitches, you see the same niggas in the club with 40 women. You feel me? The same niggas smoking weed and drinking alcohol and being drunk and not working out and eating bad food. And so you really do have to look into who you're following, because it's crazy, because it's two different worlds. And like once they do whatever they do on the camera and they turn it off, that's one world, and then they go into the real world, what it is. And if you don't know that person, it's not like they got somebody following them around 24/7 where you're gonna know. So there's a lot of shit that goes on behind closed doors, and I mean, you never really gonna know who you looking up to, if they're the truth or not, until it comes out.
Man, start fact checking some of these fucking people, man. Y'all be following these people like they're the next fucking Christ, and then come to find out they Satan themselves. You know what I'm saying? Start fact checking who you following, because social media has created a culture where everybody's dying to follow someone or some type of following. So whenever somebody pops up in the limelight, they got the light, they got their 15 minutes of fame, boom, the whole world will rush to their shit. Then once they get decapitated and removed from the limelight, everybody's looking to go to the next wave of what's hot. So you got to be careful with that because it's a lot of false prophets. Like you said, they out there telling you, hey, man, don't smoke and do this. And these motherfuckers doing crystal meth or, you know what I'm saying? Show sexual discipline. They got 6 baby mamas and 13 kids. So just be careful who you following, man, because this whole world is fucking plastic, man. It's hard to find the real these days.
It is, but then it goes back to like what's really real nowadays of what we so called real, because everything is down there an illusion. When you looking into things, it's like I don't knock too many people, but like you said, if they say they on this type of lifestyle on certain things, then yeah, you should be skeptical about anybody. You should be, but I don't knock people from certain parts of their life to where they might not be practicing that now. You know what I'm saying? So just look into it and like I said, gather information. Even if the information is right, you still can apply it. You ain't got to knock the person that's giving it out if it's still the truth. So.
And I'm gonna say that's my last thing on it. The content creators I dislike the most are the ones that are heavily Christian or heavily Muslim, because when you read those books, when you read the Holy Bible, when you read the Quran, the way people interpret it is completely different than what the book says. So when you have people that are heavily Muslim or heavily Christian, they'll interpret it and spew it however they want. But those books have very exact rules and very exact consequences for the rules that you break. So when you go out here and you pretend to be a Muslim and you pretend to be a Christian, but then you're doing things that are not godly, it's really fucked up. And it puts a stain on the Muslims and the Christians that are, I feel like, following the book to a T. So I just wanted to throw that out there because we have a new surgence of like Muslim content creators. I don't know if y'all see him. I see him that go to Mecca, do all these different things. But like I said, those would be the same niggas with the OnlyFans chicks, the same niggas with the bottles, same niggas with the weed. So it's like that shit makes the religion look bad. You might as well just not even put the religion in it. But it's a thing where it's like they want to be Muslim or they want to be heavily Christian because it sets them apart. So it's like, exactly, what can we find to, you know what I mean, set us apart and exalt us to the top faster than everybody else? The religion. And I just think when you start playing with shit like that, not everybody's religious, not everybody believes in it. Cool, I'm not the most religious person, but I understand the strictness, you know what I mean, the passion people have with it and the belief they have in it. So if you're going to go out there and do that, you need to follow it by a T. And if you're not, man, stay off of it.
Yeah, I think Andrew Tate kind of started that wave a little bit. Not saying he's not a real Muslim, but I noticed a lot of other people converting after he did. Like, you know what I'm saying? After he made it kind of popular with the whole haram, and I just started seeing like everywhere. Like you can see content creator after content creator.
Saying wallahi, all this shit. Like,
all of a sudden they Muslim, and it's like, nigga, you got a cross on your neck. That's the fuck you talking about? Like that type shit. So it's a lot of false prophets, man. Watch who you following.